Hi, Coach Donna here. I'm coming to talk to you about being the best you can be. When it comes to everything that you are in life and everything that you do, strive to be the best version of yourself. I know we all have moments when we are tired or when we're weak or when we're this, when we're that, When we have places that we should be or decisions that we should make that we don't make, and places where you look back and you say, oh, I should have been better at this, or I should have forgiven more, or I should have given less, and I should have thought of myself more, or I should have not thought of myself as much, and I should have given more to another person, or I should have been able to do this, that, or the other. Rather than living in all the places where you should have, could have, or would have, try to make the present moment better. Try to make yourself be as fully the person that you want to be as you can be at this moment. I know that I've talked before and said that you are the best version of yourself that you can possibly be right here, right now. But sometimes we don't always believe that of ourselves. We don't always think that the things that we have done and the things that we have been, the places that we've been, and the experiences that we've had create the best version of ourselves. But I heard a while ago somebody say diamonds are produced under pressure. They get produced at the hardest amount of pressure, at the highest temperatures, and there is nothing that refines gold better than fire. So, and it takes time. That's not just you put a little fire on the gold and boom, it's all purified. It takes time. For the pressure to create the diamond, it takes millennia of time. For the closed clam to produce a beautiful, priceless pearl, it takes years. And I want us to realize that striving to be the best version of yourself is just another way that the foundation of who we are and who we're becoming gets laid. So you strive to be the best person that you can be by learning more. I try my best to read, more than I have in the past. I always want to read. Some books are constant in my atmosphere, like Think and Grow Rich. I read that book at least once a year. The Alchemist, one of my all-time favorite books. I've read that book several times. Who Moved My Cheese? It reminds me all the time to stay current and to continuously look for things when change is coming. And The Richest Man in Babylon, I love that book. So those are my fabulous fives, right? I read those books if I don't read any other book, but I always try and read more books. And I always try and gain more knowledge, and I always try to gain more talent, more ability, or hone my talent, because you can't really gain more talent. You can gain more skill, but you can't gain more talent. Talents are innate. The gifts are innate. But I try to apply skill to my talents to make them stronger, to build up my skill set so that when it's time for me to whip out something, I'm ready, So that's the reason why I'm saying strive to be the best person that you can be, the best version of yourself that you can be in this particular space that you're in. Because if you do that, then you grow faster. Or you grow and you are aware of your growth. And as you become more aware of your growth, you're more likely to continue the growth because you know it's happening. It's like waiting on a surprise versus building up something that you can see. And knowing that the work might be a little difficult at times, but understanding that reward is like the best thing that could possibly be. So it's that same process of growing into the person that you want to become. The best version of yourself starts right now. It doesn't start when you've gotten your degree. It doesn't start when you've gotten all of your certifications. It doesn't start when you get married. It doesn't start when you have kids. It doesn't start when you have the favorite car, have all the money that you want to have. None of those things make the best version of yourself. None of those situations make the best version of yourself. And in fact, if you have not already worked on yourself to become the best version that you can possibly be of yourself, when you get money, when you get your degree, when you get your husband, your wife, your children, you will be a mess, and you will pass on your mess to your children. Now, granted, we're all a mess in some form or another. We all have stuff. That's the beauty of humanity. Everybody's human, and we all got stuff. But at the same time, we all have stuff. But everybody's stuff doesn't rule them. Everybody's stuff doesn't decide for them. And everybody's stuff doesn't order or guide the steps that they take in order to become the person that they are. There was a time in everybody's life when the stuff guided them, when the stuff ruled them, when the stuff made them who they were in terms of thought, deeds, and actions. Thoughts, deeds, and intent, I should say. Not action, because deeds and action are the same thing. But thought, deeds, and intent. But when you change your thoughts because you want a different outcome, you have to create a different intent in order to get it. Got it? And in order for you to do all of those things, you have to start where you are right now, working to become your best self. So, like Oprah says, live your best life. That's been her slogan for a while. Live your best life. LYBL. When I first saw it in her magazine, I was like, what is that? But understanding that live your best life has everything to do with the place that you're in right here, right now, and blossoming from the place where you stand is powerful in and of itself. Because even the rich, the famous, the wise, the people that have it all together or have it all, like Oprah, she started saying, I was, a child who was abused. I had issues with sexual stuff because my dad raped me, because this happened, because that happened. I was molested. I was this. I have eating issues. I have weight issues. I have this. I have that. She literally gave us all permission on a platform that was national and I guess international too, because she's known all over the world, to be human. Because she allowed us to see her humanity. And while she did that, she worked on becoming her best self. And I submit to you, when I watch her today, she's a very different person than she was in 1980, whatever it was, when she came on TV the first time in the Oprah Winfrey Show. But at the same time, she's a very different person on the inside than she was then. She's a very different person in her thoughts, in her deeds, and in her intent than she was then. And I submit to you that it is because she worked on her best self, living her best self from the spot that she was in. See, when you decide that you don't want any more of whatever it is that you don't like in your life, you do work to change it. You don't say, I hate this, and you keep going. You don't say, I don't like this, and you keep going. You don't say, oh my God, I wish this was over, and you keep going. My mother says, that's your red wagon, and when you are tired of pulling it and pushing it and shoving it and kicking it and dragging it and trying to budge it along, you will let it go and walk without the wagon, because it doesn't serve you anyway. Too much crap in the wagon, you can't pull it anyway. So it's the same principle. When you're ready to become the best part of yourself, that if you close your eyes and you envision yourself as this powerful this, that, or the other, the idea of you being that doesn't start when you become that. It has to start now. It's like the same thing of the seed. When God created the seed, He created it with the idea of the bumper crop. He didn't create it with the idea, oh, this little seed can make this one apple. And one apple is just a great accomplishment. No, he started with the bumper crop in mind. So just the same that as he started with everything in order, in line, in mind, we then have to start with the end of what we want to become in mind as well. So that's why I'm talking to you about living your best self now. Because you might not like being a liar. You might not like being overweight. You might not like being broke. You might not like yourself. You might not enjoy your own company. You know, you might want to have more fun. You might want to have more money. You might want to have companionship, or to have a community where you're accepted and loved. And those things start right now with you changing or working on the best parts of yourself to shine for people, so that they can see you for who you really are. And giving your gifts to everybody else so that they can benefit from them. And that in turn brings more back to you. Anyway, life in 4G is living in God, living a life of giving, living a life of gratitude, and living unapologetically in your greatness. I am stopping here because I just want you to remember, before I go off on another tangent, that the only way that you get to your best self, the best life that you want to ever have, is by starting the practice of living the best person that you can be today. It doesn't happen like that. Your diamond, the diamond that you are, will be realized after you've gone through the process of change to make you become the brilliant, faceted person who you are. Have a good night, guys.